Welcome to Live Parkinson's, Live an Exceptional Life. I'm your host, Chris Custenbotter, and I've been living an exceptional life with Parkinson's for the past 15 years. And the mission of this podcast is to help as many people living with Parkinson's as possible to live a great quality of life. Now, I want you to imagine this. You're walking through your house at night, it's pitch black, you can't see a thing. But somehow, your hand finds the wall, your foot finds the next step, and your body knows exactly where you are without your eyes helping at all. That invisible superpower? That's proprioception, your body's built-in GPS. And today I'm going to show you why training this inner GPS is far more effective for fall prevention than simply lifting weights, and why research is now crystal clear. Strength alone doesn't stop falls. Sensory training does. Now, if you've ever felt unsteady, even though you're getting stronger, this episode is going to connect the dots in a way that finally makes sense. So let's get into it. All right, so what is proprioception? Well, proprioception is your body's ability to sense where your limbs are, how your joints are positioned, how much force you're using, and how to correct your posture automatically. It's the reason you can scratch your head without looking. It's the reason you can walk without staring at your feet. And it's the reason that you can reach for a cup without knocking it over. But here's the key. Proprioception is a sensory system. It's not a strength system. And in Parkinson's, the sensory system becomes less accurate, less responsive, and sometimes it's just flat out misleading. Now let's look at what the research says. Okay, first of all, proprioceptive defects are a core feature of Parkinson's. Now, one of the most important papers in this field is titled Proprioceptive Dysfunction in Parkinson's Disease, that was published in Movement Disorders in 2009. And this study found that people with Parkinson's consistently misjudged joint angles. They had difficulty sensing limb position without visual cues. Their force regulation was impaired, which means they often used too much or too little force. And corrective responses were delayed by up to 30 to 50%. Now, the author, Konczak's team, concluded that proprioceptive impairment is not a side effect of Parkinson's, it's a primary symptom. This means that balance problems aren't just about weak muscles, they're about faulty sensory input. All right, another study, which was a major randomized controlled trial titled Resistance versus Balance Training in Parkinson's Disease, that was published in the Journal of Neurologic Physical Therapy in 2017. And what this study did is it compared a strength training group and a balance training group that focused on sensory and postural control. Now, here's what they found. Strength training increased muscle strength, which is great, that's what you want, but it did not improve balance, gait, or fall risk. Now, the balance training group, on the other hand, showed significant improvements in postural stability, reactive balance, gait speed, turning, and fall confidence. And the authors concluded that strength training alone is insufficient for improving balance in Parkinson's. Now, this is huge. It means you can be strong and still fall, because falls aren't strength failures, they're sensory failures. All right, and there was another powerful study titled Sensory Motor Training Improves Proprioception and Reduces Fall Risk in Parkinson's Disease. And that was published in Neurorehabilitation and Neural Repair in 2020. Now, the participants in this study completed 10 weeks of proprioceptive focused training. And the results? Joint position accuracy improved up to 40%. Their gait variability decreased. They reduced their freezing episodes. The fall frequency dropped significantly. And brain imaging showed increased activation in sensory motor integration areas. So that's neuroplasticity in real time. And remember, neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to make new neural connections and new neural pathways. So essentially, the brain was literally relearning how to sense the body. And then finally, slow motion movement improves proprioception. And there was a landmark trial that was titled Tai Chi and Postural Stability in Parkinson's Disease. And that was published in the New England Journal of Medicine in 2012. And this study compared people doing Tai Chi, people doing strength training, and people doing stretching. The results? Tai Chi improved balance more than strength training. Tai Chi reduced falls by 55%. And Tai Chi improved directional control and reactive balance. Why? Well, because Tai Chi is slow, controlled, and sensory rich. That's exactly what proprioception needs. Nice, slow, controlled movements so that you're training your brain to know where your body is in space. And then dual tasking is essential for real world balance. I mean, think about when you go to the grocery store, you're trying to carry bags and walk and talk at the same time. And there was a foundational paper that was titled The Role of Executive Function in Attention and Gait. And that was published in Movement Disorders in 2008. And this study showed that most falls happen during dual tasking. Parkinson's affects the brain's ability to divide our attention. So if we don't work on it and our attention gets distracted, it makes it that much easier for us to fall. And then balance training must include cognitive load to be effective. So this is why balancing while counting or turning your head or tossing a ball in the air is so powerful. You're training your brain to do two things at one time. All right, now let's talk about why strength alone isn't enough. Now, don't get me wrong, strength is important. It's extremely important to help with our core and to help with our movement. But here's the truth. Falls don't happen because you're weak. Falls happen because you're surprised. You might trip on a rug, you turn too fast, you step on uneven ground, you get distracted. I know in my case, sometimes my boxer dog will walk up behind me and I don't see her and I'll turn around quick and have to try to catch myself because I'm surprised that she was there. So strength helps you get up. Proprioception helps you not to go down in the first place. So if your inner GPS is slow or inaccurate, your muscles don't get the right instructions no matter how strong they are. All right, so how can we train our inner GPS or our proprioception? So let's talk about some exercises that you can do that are backed by the research that we just talked about. The first one is eyes closed balance training. And this is based on that 2009 study that I talked about. So when you remove vision, proprioception has to step up. So try this and have a spotter or someone there to help you. But stand near a counter, have your feet hip width apart, close your eyes, and then just shift your weight slowly in all directions. And start out by doing that 20 or 30 seconds. So again, safety comes first, so make sure that you do it in a safe manner. But if you practice these exercises, they can help you with your proprioception. All right, and then uneven surface training. And this was backed by the 2020 study that we talked about. And you can use a foam pad, you can use a yoga mat, a folded towel. And what this does is it forces your ankles and your hips to make micro adjustments. And they're the exact skills that we use to help prevent falls. So you can practice stepping on a yoga mat or a foam pad or walking on a foam pad because that's an uneven surface and that's going to help you train your body and your inner GPS for uneven surfaces. And then dual task training. This is one of my favorites. And I do these all the time. So try balancing while naming animals, counting backwards, turning your head, tossing a ball. And this is going to train your real world balance because typically you're doing more than one thing at a time. You're walking and talking, you're carrying something and thinking or looking ahead. So dual task training is really going to help you build your balance because you'll be able to react more quickly because you're used to doing more than one thing at a time and your attention's not divided. And then slow motion movement. Things like Tai Chi, yoga, and slow stepping drills are going to improve your joint position sense so you know where your joints are. And I've done Tai Chi and I've done yoga. Both of those are great exercises. And the nice thing about them is they're slow, deliberate movements, especially Tai Chi. And you're working on your breathing and your balance at the same time. It's also going to help you with your postural control. Helps you maintain an upright position, keeps you in a nice posture. And then also both Tai Chi and yoga are going to help with reactive balance. So you're able to catch yourself if you start to teeter back and forth. Remember, slow is powerful. So you don't have to do it fast. Slow is going to help build that inner GPS system. And then foot awareness drills. Now, we all know that our feet are our body's sensory headquarters. So we can try to roll a ball under our foot, tap our toes and heels, walking barefoot on different textures. This helps to wake up our sensory pathways, and it tells our brain where we are. Because think about when you're walking in your bare feet, if you step on something sharp, boy, right away you know it. So your feet have a lot of sensory neurons in them to help you know what's going on, feel, and make adjustments. All right, so let's bring it all together. Here's the big takeaway. Strength training is going to build the engine, but proprioception training builds the steering wheel. You need both. You need to be strong, have a nice strong core, strong legs and back, and help to keep an upright posture. So you need both. But if your goal is fall prevention, proprioception is going to be your secret weapon. It's trainable, it's powerful, and it's often one of the most overlooked tools that we have in our toolbox for Parkinson's care. So, in closing, your body's capable of more than you think. Your brain's adaptable. Your balance can improve, not by chance, but by training the systems that keep you upright. So pick one exercise from today's episode and practice it this week. Your inner GPS will wake up faster than you expected. Now, if you want more research-backed tools like this, visit liveparkinsons.com and subscribe to the free monthly newsletter. It's packed with science, hope, and some practical steps to help you live an exceptional life every single day. Now, until next time, remember, stay healthy, stay strong, keep moving, keep learning, and go out there and live your best life with Parkinson's. Thanks again, and I hope to see you in the next episode.